What's going on this Thursday?
Hey, Scott. Thank you, buddy. Hi, Jamie. How are you?
What's going on, Andy? Hello, everyone.
Not a lot, not a lot. At least we got some small caps moving the last couple of days. That's been kind of nice.
Yeah, small caps, meme stocks are on the move again.
Oh, meme stocks, you're right. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the trading studio. I am Andy. That's Jamie and Scott. And let's dive in. But before we do, I just want to thank you guys for taking time out to be here today. I think it's going to be a fun little session. So let's go over the disclaimer real quick. Okay, we are a content publisher. Nothing that you see or hear today should be construed as investment advice. Okay, this is for educational purposes only. So if you are seeking investment advice, you probably want to look for somebody who holds a license. That would be a registered advisor or a stockbroker. Let's dive in and take a look at the agenda. I think this is going to be good. We're going to do the market recap. Resilient market is still with us. And Jamie, not a whole lot to talk about in the Holly recap today, but Jamie will hit on a few ideas. Holly's been having some good days lately, but today just kind of a ho-hum low count day. And then we're going to do something interesting. We're going to take a look at my recent trades. We're going to kind of break them down, and I always think it's good for newer traders and even somebody's been trading for a while that is struggling. I'm just going to share with you maybe some ideas and take a look at some of the things that I've done recently. Not that I'm a great trader, but I think you'll definitely, anytime you can get some ideas, some fresh ideas from another trader that's working for him right now, maybe it will help your game as well. I shouldn't use the word game, but your business. All right. A lot of these come from revenue growth fishing scan, and you're going to notice a lot of kind of bottom fishing, but I'm going to give you reason why I've taken these trades and what I've done with them so far. So I think this is always good to see. And the price alerts game, it's funny, I did the price alerts game forgetting that we were going to be off for 2 weeks, but we're going to go back and take a look at them. I think it's 3 weeks ago, and there was a few really good performers that if you bought them and held them for 3 weeks. But we'll take a look at those, and if we have time, we'll load them up again. All right, so let me back out of this real. Nope, let me go over the 5-star support, education, and training here first, guys. Bear with us. A lot of people coming off the test drive, and that'll be, I guess, ending here shortly. So I'm sure a lot of people, we're already seeing a lot of people sign up. And guys, I want you to know there's lots of help out there for you, okay? And I'm going to highlight a little bit of that right now. First of all, we have these webinars every day, Monday through Thursday, in the same time slot. That's 5 Eastern time. Great place to come in here. Not only will we share some ideas, help you with the software, give you some ideas how to use the software, but we'll also talk about kind of like trading, what I'm going to talk about today. That's great info. Don't forget the Traders Room. I'm sure everybody knows about that. That's up here at the top. I'm sorry, guys. I just got a new computer and I did not download the Epic pen yet, so I need to get a pen. So just bear with me. Moderated by Barry. He's a great trader. I know a lot of people have been doing well in there, especially with the meme stocks going. AMC, I know, was a hot one today for sure in the room. But keep in mind, Barry is also there to help you. If you have any questions, just hit him up. He loves helping people in there. Okay, so just don't think it's a trading room only. Okay, we are there for support as well. And then probably the best place is the support webinar. I'll click over to the next slide. This is what we do every day, Monday through Friday. I'll be doing the one tomorrow at 12 Eastern time. We just basically cut out an hour, steal it from the live stream from Barry's room, take over, and open it up for Q&A. So great place to come. If you can make it, guys, get in that daily support session at 12 Eastern time. All right, I'll save this one for Scott toward the end. So let's back out and pull up the SPYs and talk a little bit about the market. And like I said, it's been resilient. there you have it. It just, you know, kind of still trending up. You can see the 50-period moving average, guys, really been holding over the last 7 or 8 months here. Every time we come down to that 50-period moving average, went below it, closed below it there for one day, and the next day we're back up again and held it here, held it here, and held it here. So that is your bogey, guys. If you are an investor or a longer term swing trader, like Sean is, you know, you might want to keep an eye on that 50, see if we breach it. And I would probably give it a couple of days, because you can see we breached it back on this day right here. And the next day we reclaimed it, if you will. So yeah, the 50 period is the bogey we need to keep an eye on. And if we do break below that, I think, yeah, you have to get a little bit skeptical of the continued move higher. But until then, here we are sitting near all-time highs in the SPYs, above our moving average, and now we have our 10, which has been below the 20-period moving average for a couple of weeks now, trying to cross over. So setting up for a possible bullish move. I don't know if we'll get it on a Friday, but it doesn't seem the bulls have been scared of Fridays recently, so maybe we'll get it tomorrow. Let's take a look at the Qs real quick. And a lot more work to go there. You can see the growth stocks, I think everybody knows, have really not been in favor lately. And because they're quite a bit, I'd be real surprised if they went to their 52-week high tomorrow, but we've seen weirder stuff. IWM, let's take a look at that, which has been strong the last couple of days. We've been seeing some, you know, money move into the lower priced cap stocks, I should say. The trend line there. Yeah, if I had a pen, I could draw it. Let me just do it right here. That we'll probably need to keep an eye on, and if it can get above that little kind of trend line right there, this could be off to a 52-week as high as well. So, you know, I know a lot of traders. Gosh, let me cut this thing off. That's my count over here. I got a British man talking to me. All right.
I just did the same thing, Andy.
Okay. Yeah. It's funny. I was at my mom's house over the last 3 days, and she always gets on here after I leave and play Scrabble, and I forgot to close that out, and it scared the hell out of her. I got this man kept coming on talking to me. But all right, so let's. That's about it, Jamie. I mean, not a lot of bearish influence on this market right now. That can change, but we're just kind of hovering here close to highs, all-time highs in the SPYs. So we'll see what happens, kind of going sideways, maybe waiting for these averages, this 10 period, to sneak up underneath.
That's about all we can do at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're all done there, I will point out the couple of small highlights of the Holly trades here, even though
go right ahead.
Hey, just like a regular human trader has these days, well, the AI is going to have those days as well.
Sure.
Just not a lot of statistical arbitrage out there, it would appear right now, or not arbitrage, but just statistical viability. So you got eyes on my screen now, Andy?
I do.
Okay. All right. So as we can see here, a relatively low trade count. If we focus on the channel bar, 4 from Neo, Holly 1.0 remaining completely silent today, and 2.0 kicking out 1 signal, and 4 from Neo. And as you can see here they all are. But if we just kind of cycle down, and keep in mind these values over here based on trading 100 shares per trade, whereas my values here are based around risking $100 per trade and just simply letting the system scale us into the appropriate amount of shares. So typically, you know, the 3 things we like to point out here: is there any spread between conservative and moderate? And I think it's pretty clear here to see, hey, here's conservative, here's moderate. Don't really see any spread whatsoever, which is a little odd because there's usually at least 1 or 2, even if it's a little bit, but here, not today. So we don't have any conservative moderate spread. As far as trade rounds go, things that have been stopped out that might have turned and burned the other way, well, we can see in this aggressive profit column, these values here are greater than 100. So those stop outs were good stop outs because they just kept going in the wrong direction. So that leaves us with a couple of little nuggets here. This OSH, the short, we can see that Holly held this one all day, 248, closed it out about 12 minutes before the close. And we did have a rather decent entry price, 60.90. So if we come up here, little blue arrows right where Holly made the entry, not a bad entry. She just held it a little too long. So keeping in mind that the entry price was 60.90 in that trade, we had the potential low on this candle, 59.36. So, you know, well over $1.50 in potential there. It's just that if you didn't take those cookies when we were down here, and by the way, that's plenty of time to make a decision as we're basing out around here, kind of glancing over here at the daily. We wicked right down to this 20 period moving average and then shot right back up again. So this could have helped us a little bit trying to time that exit, but plenty of time down here, over an hour, almost 2 hours to make a nice profitable exit in that one, even though it's not reflecting as a winner here, but plenty of potential to take a little bit home before we had that little resurgence back up to the entry line. Other than the OSH trade, this guy right here, OCFT, is the only other one that kind of stuck out to me. And we've seen this movie before, okay? So OCFT clearly gap down. Seller was in charge for the first 30 minutes. Seller just can't keep pounding the bid. So what happens? Takes a little break. Buyers and sellers become equal for about, we call it 45 minutes. But Holly calling the play right here. And the price was 16.12. Notice the line that I've drawn right here. We see Holly making the short, got that statistical viability on our side. What might happen in the future? And this one happened relatively quick. We had a nice little breakdown of this opening range after about 45 minutes of consolidation, a little sideways action. So this area right here would have been a super fantastic spot to leverage that trade and add a little more. 16.12 was the AI price, and it looks like we capitulated down here at 15.14. So even though it doesn't look like a whole lot of room there, that was good for another point there. So a really good add-on opportunity. And of course, as these typically do, kicking out that monster volume most of the day, finishing at 31.38. Little guy usually only kicks out about 500,000 shares, but the day approaching 15 million. So once again, nice early signal from Holly backed by the statistical probability, potential for that secondary pattern to play out, leverage the trade or make an initial entry along with raging volume. So we, all in all, one little 3-star trade actually did make an appearance here. And other than that, Andy, just pretty ho-hum for the rest of those trades.
Yeah, Jamie, I got it. That's fine. She's
it is what it is.
Yeah. I think all of us as traders can admit over the last couple of months we've had some definite ho-hum days. So I know I've had quite a few of them.
Yeah, unless you're trading
Build-A-Bear
or perhaps AMC or
GME,
everything is like it's their turn in the sun again. It's always rotating around in some form or fashion, but yeah. All right, let me kick it off.
You said you can kick it over here, Jamie, and you said made a key point there. Always rotating around, and that's what I'm going to kind of talk about today. So let me bring up just my paper trader here. Now, this is a paper trader that mimics my personal account and also mimics account I trade with Jamie and a couple of the other guys, Steve and Michael, a fund we trade. Now, these sizes are huge. This is a paper trading. Okay, this is nothing like my personal account. Obviously, this is probably about 10 times greater than what I trade in my.
Usually just 1 0 less, right, Andy?
That's it. Pretty much, yeah. But anyway, that's not the point. I mean, trust me. People, when it comes to trading size, it's all relative. Okay, somebody may trade 100 shares, somebody may trade 10,000 shares, somebody may trade 100,000. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's all relative to the trader. The key is the trade. okay, is the entry, which is by far the most important part of the trade. Okay, if you get a good entry, it's really you're really setting the risk reward up in your favor. So to me, it's all about the entry, and I think most good traders will tell you the same thing. And many of you guys know me. You'll know that I don't mind bottom fishing. I love to catch trend reversals because that is a lot of times where you can get your 20 to 50% gain. Okay, the reward to risk ratio is just incredible. It's it can be a 5 to 1 easy. The problem is they're in a downtrend, okay, and so you are kind of halfway speculating that the trend is going to reverse, and if it doesn't, and you're wrong, you have to get out. But I'm going to show you a way, guys, where you can kind of prevent yourself from getting in and out of these too many, because a lot of times you don't know when they're going to reverse, okay, and this is why a lot of times I'll only buy a third of a size, maybe a half of a size if I really have a lot of conviction about it. And so we're just going to go over a few trades here. I'm not going to talk about the silver one. That's just something I bought on a sell-off a while back. And this TZA, it's a hedge that I have in my personal account. And I took it in the fund today as well, because when you get a lot of positions, sometimes you just want to have a little hedge. Especially if you're taking some profits in your position, which I did on almost all of mine today. And you're going to see in here my entries from the marking of, that's one thing about this paper trader. It will show you where your entry was. And this is one F cell that I entered at 832. Okay, now trading at 988. I got like a 10% move yesterday, and I banged out of half of it. Okay, so I still have half of my trade. That's the beautiful thing about when you're playing these potential turnarounds. A lot of time your initial move is going to be huge, okay, and you can bang out a half of your size, and now you're playing with house money. Okay, so your stop may have been down here around 750. Well, now you could even be more flexible with your stop, since you just banged out 10% to the upside, or you can put it tight and assure that you make a decent profit still in the first half that you've taken, which I do more of that. I don't like seeing, I like to hold firm to my exits and not move them around just because I banged some money out. But FCell is one, and like I said, I look for that initial move, I bang half of it out, and now I got half if it won't. And this is one that who knows. And I hate to be one that says, oh wow, look where this came from, maybe it'll get back up there. No, that's not what I'm looking at. By the way, I did launch my scroller and make sure it's not making a big O. That's too big. Hold on. Be my epic pen here. Oh, it's not giving me a. There it is. Okay, change the color. There we go. All right. But what I do like is when these things kind of reach a point and they start to, let me zoom in a little bit, and they start to kind of move sideways. A lot of times I like to see them, maybe for a move sideways for like 6 months, but I'm getting, this is kind of a new format here. Let me see. But when you've had one move down here, I'm sorry guys, I'm trying to get these colors right. They changed it up on me. There we go. There we go. All right. So when you've had a move down here, let's say you tried to play this bounce, it failed. To me, this is all kind of a bottoming process, going back to this low over here. I don't just look at it right here and say, oh boy, it's a bottoming process. So when you hit a low and then you bounce up and it fails, that's still, to me, part of the bottoming process. So I like to look for like about 6 weeks of bottoming process, and you're going to see a lot of these, they're going to look very similar because a lot of them are in the same sector. Okay. Next one, I'm going to stick with the EV market first, is Solo, and a beautiful move yesterday in that one. And you can see here, look what's happening. Okay, you kind of found a bottoming process, you get a bounce, and a lot of times these things will start going sideways, and then you'll get this 10-period moving average starting to rotate around. And a lot of times it'll hit that and you'll get your big move. like in this solo. Neo, and you can see this is one, I think the reason it's up here, I was in this earlier, I averaged in other words, I bought more on this day, and of course I pounded out some of it. I just got the huge move. I can't remember what it was yesterday, I think 15% or something like that. Neo, if anybody who follows me know this is my best trading stock last year. Traders have a tendency to go back to the ones that are good to them, and that's what I did in Neo. You can see my entry there at 34.50. Okay, this was kind of an anticipation move off this rounding 10-period moving average, and bought it right before it took out that high right there. Did sell half of it yesterday, okay, and still in half in a beautiful. I'm loving what I'm seeing today. So these things are definitely, back in play, and I'm in half. I'm pretty flexible right now. In other words, I'm not going to get shaken out just because it pulls back on me. It maybe takes out this low. I will maybe give it time for it to pull back. In other words, once you take half nice profits, you can be real flexible with your other half. Okay, you don't have to really sweat it out, I should say. But that one right there, and now I'm going to go to SunPower. This is one that I haven't sold any. This is my biggest position right now because I haven't sold any. And my first buy was in here, and I added to it today because I thought it was going to possibly go today. I'm loving this setup right here. Okay, once again, nice little bottoming process. It bounced up, and now the 10-period moving average. You're going to see this a lot of cases. Okay, when you get these kind of bottoming processes, you're going to start seeing this 10-period average kind of hold, and you've seen it do it 2 days in a row, and now you got your 10 crossing your 20. This is one that it might not be too late if if this wants to go tomorrow. I thought we'd see more today, but the solars just couldn't get going. And if I zoom out, you can see this is one that has basically lost half its value, but putting in a nice bottoming pattern. Expecting a possible big move for this one tomorrow. Okay, it's either going to do that, or I'm hoping it just doesn't go sideways, but we'll see. A lot of times you get those drives down early in the morning, they want to bounce off the 10-period moving average again. We'll see if that happens. But that is one that I'm liking, and because I haven't, I added to my position today, and because I thought I was going to go today, I haven't taken any profit. So this would be my biggest position right now. So you can see some of these patterns that I like to trade. If you find yourself buying momentum and it's not working right now, I'm seeing a lot of that because we have this, what Jamie said, rotation. Okay, now you're seeing some rotation into some small caps. EVs were hot today. But I don't always do that. X is one that I've actually bought on a pullback. Okay, so X is one. You can see the 23.75. That's my mark. I bought it on this day right here. Okay, just buying something off the 50-period moving average. You can see twice it held right there and right there, and then I bought on that when it came down and touched the 50-period moving average right at 23.75. This is where you have to be patient, okay? If you're used to being a day trader and used to quick action, not when you're trading this style, you're not always going to get it, okay? And you can see here, this waffled back and forth for 4 days and finally got an okay move yesterday for about 5% or maybe a little less. And then, of course, the gap up and the move today. I did sell some at the open, and it's somewhere right around there. I can't remember, 20, 26, some change, but I don't know where. But I did sell half my position there and hoping for continued momentum higher, possibly to this 30 level. So not always bottom fishing. You can see this is definitely not a bottom fishing stock. Okay, this one, excuse me. This one is far from a bottom fishing, but you can see there's a 50 right there, tag. So when you get these things, just like I showed you in the SPYs, this works for the stocks as well, and that ended up being a good buy as well. Now this has happened to be one that I don't have a a window that I was using. I could create one. Basically, you just got to create something that is breaking through its 50-period moving average, and if the chart looks right and you see it, hanging on this 50 in several different spots, bouncing, hey, maybe it's a good entry. This ended up being one of them. And Rocket was one I took yesterday. This is one that I happened to be in it on this day when the Wall Street Bets guys jumped in on it, and been trying to play it a few times. Finally just got out, hadn't traded it in probably 2 months, and then I was noticing it starting a bottoming process, and you can see it right there. Very similar to the patterns that we've been seeing. Came down here, finally bounced, and what do we have? Kind of going sideways, but it was under pressure. I did not buy it until this day right here when it popped above this moving average. Added to my position right here. This is why you see it higher. Okay, I added it at like well, I don't know where it was, but I added it right there. Got a good pop today, sold half, and I'm still in half. I mean, when you get the kind of pop this one had, was like almost, oh gosh, I don't know what it was, maybe 17, 18%. And I think I took some off right around 1910 or something like that, and still in half. So liking the volume, don't care for the big topping tail. This one has done this in the past several times, but big short interest, not real big, 15%. So we'll set to see what happens, but I'm not crazy about that topping tail. This is one that if it comes back and breaks below the 10-period moving average, I'll probably sell my second half and just take the profits that I made on the first half. All right, let me see if there's anything on there that I missed. I got Rocket. Oh, Romeo is one I bought today. Okay, what's the sector? The sector is, this was lagging. This one still may be in play for tomorrow. Short float 25%, that's good, but I bought this today. You can see there at 820. Okay, so just a little bit of a pop right there. One that I may look, if it looks like it wants to go in the morning, I could add to it, but we'll see what happens. But once again, kind of a nice bottoming pattern. There you have your bounce like happened in all the rest of them, and then sideways action, and there is your 10-period moving average now crossing your 20. Imprint that in your head, guys. That is just powerful. Okay, and I know a lot of people, a lot of traders out there won't teach, buying stuff like this. I think it's an art, and once you study these things and you start hitting a few of these and you start getting these 20, 30, sometimes 50%, and not only that, who's to say this can't be a very great entry for a long-term hold, a very long-term hold, We'll see what happens, but yeah, I could see me hanging on to some of these if it's a true bounce in the whole sector. All right, I think I hit them all. And what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go through and we're gonna look at, now, obviously, some of these were in here. Probably all of them at one time were in Dawn of the Dead. Now, maybe not, we'll look. But look at NKLA. Look at the move it had today. And this is in Dawn of the Dead, okay? And I showed this and I'll share it again. Oh, by the way, I have a filter in there that I took out. So I'm definitely gonna share this with you guys because I had a volume in the 5-minute minimum of 100%, which basically is just normal 5-minute volume. I took that out because really if you're playing the, for a swing trade and, not a day trade or something like that, it doesn't really matter to me, the volume. Okay, you're playing off the daily, so volume can always come in later, like it did in is it Nicola or Nicola? Nicola, like Ricola, except with an N. But
Like that.
Anyway,
Well, it just depends. It's I think what they named themselves after Nikola Tesla.
Mm-hmm. But a great move in that one today, and probably one of the reason. When you see this kind of move, guys, this is when you can start shopping around. This is what I used to do all the time when I traded. I was a sector kind of guy, all right? And if I saw something in the sector, like NKLA, Nicola going, and especially if you get the big boys like Tesla, and I like to watch NEO, it can be a leader sometimes. and you see those secondary stocks like FCell, Plug, things like that haven't gone very much, and I used to pounce on those all the time. Fortunately, I was already in these today, but I did add to some of them yesterday. So that can be a great way to trade. Just sympathy plays a lot of times, and you can if you get good at it and you know the stocks in that sector, you can beat a lot of people to the punch. So let's do this. I'm trying to think which one of my stocks that were in that. Let me just go through these real quick. I can tell which ones are in revenue growth fishing by the revenue growth. FCell would have not been in there. SunPower would not be in there. Neo was in there. I think I saw Neo in the revenue growth fishing at some point. Solo wouldn't have been in there. Nope. So probably not a lot of them in there. I think most of them I was just kind of watching the sector. I had an eye on the sector because of Neo and how well I traded it last year. I kind of was stalking the sector, if you will. But here's what I want to do. I want to take a look at some of these, all right, guys, because I do find a lot of them on here, okay? For some reason, the EV sector just not showing a whole lot of revenue growth, but I want to take a look at some of these, and maybe we'll mark. I'm going to let you mark them up, okay, because I'm not, my price alert is just full of stuff right now, and I don't want to go through and try to find everything, but I noticed now Mirror and what's the other one that trades with it? Riot. Okay, you got to be careful. I noticed these were coming through and looking like they want maybe having that look to them. Okay, the only thing about that is you got to keep your eye. These trade with Bitcoin. Okay, so you might want to keep an eye on Bitcoin because Riot and Mirror look like they may be primed if Bitcoin gets going. Okay, they've had a nice pullback. They got some strong revenue growth. You can see there in Mara, and you can also see it in Riot. So you might want to keep your eyes on those, but you want to keep an eye on Bitcoin. Oh, and Bitcoin after hours. I don't know if that's is Bitcoin popping?
Actually, Bitcoin's just been kind of flatlining around 38 and change, 39 right now.
Okay.
On the day,
I'm not sure what's going on in this. This is a trust anyway. I don't even think it would trade after hours. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But anyway, keep an eye on Bitcoin if you like trading Riot and Mara because the charts look primed for a possible, move. But once again, they're going to trade off Bitcoin. I wrote a few of these down so we won't have to go through every one of them. That's an interesting one right there. Okay, very similar to, you can see the pattern that I'm talking about. Okay, you had a bottoming right here, tried to bounce. Probably a lot of people thought, oh, I caught the bottom, and then we rotate over, and then you start forming this second tier of this bottoming process. So really about a 6-week process there. And now what do you see? You see the 10 period sneaking up and acting as support, and now you're above the red line here, the 20 period. Not a bad one right there. And like I said, guys, I'm not going to mark up price alerts. I'm just give you guys some ideas. Maybe you can mark them up, do what you want to with them. Let's take a look at some more here. I'm always careful, guys, anytime I see a big gap down, okay? Because more than likely it's earnings, and a lot of times these earnings take a while to wash out. Okay, Bitcoin had some nice moves after hours and pulled back to 80%, now trying to pop again. Okay, thanks, George. So I'm always leery. I will pass on something like this just because the bad earnings are just too fresh on everybody's mind. Okay, I like to see these work out. They may work sometimes, but for me, I like to see them. I think there's one in here too that I saw recently. Yeah, Fix. Now, Fix is one that gap down. Now, this is like a biotech. Guys, I don't trade too many biotechs, but for those who are not afraid of them, You know, this is one where you had a huge gap down a couple of months ago, okay, and now it may be finally working its way out, but I'm not gonna you know, recommend that just because I don't like trading biotechs. But let me give you a couple guys that I have seen, and like I said, I wrote them down here because some of them may have been on yesterday or the day before, but DM, this is what I call a very nice possible bottoming pattern, rounding. Michael loves these as well. And what you have here is a nice rounding pattern there potentially, okay? Where lows, 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 you hit one right there and now it's been holding up, okay? So what I would do is something like this. And what can be very frustrating is, you can see I have a mark there. Is a lot of times you can see on this red bar right here, guys, and this is what a lot of time what happens. You can see this went to a fresh 1 month high on this day right here and then got slammed back down, okay? It even got slammed today a little bit, but look at this bounce back it had, okay? So this is why when I take these, I may only take a third of a size, at most a half of a size. I want to be able to weather the storm as it's making this bottom process. It may not be ready at this time, you know, and I don't want to sit here and get in and out, in and out, in and out, waiting for the right move. So this is why a lot of times I'll buy a small position, but this is one I'm watching. Now I'll probably move this up to there. I think I set this the other day. I think I'll probably move this up there. So I'll get alerted right before it takes out those 2 wicks. And if I see volume coming in, it's probably breaking through this 50 period moving average. Definitely one I would keep an eye on. Nice bottoming pattern. I think I tweeted about that the other day. One I'm definitely watching. I mentioned SunPower to you. I mentioned Romeo. I wrote these down. RAAS. This is one that frustrated today. Okay, look at that nice little pop yesterday, and today, boom, it sold off. I will still keep an eye on this, and you know, because you see a nice little kind of rounding. I'm not going to draw it, but you can kind of see it, a possible rounding bottoming process. So what I'm going to do right here is just go ahead and set one. I like to get a little head start a lot of times, and I'll just set an alert right there. And if it goes through it, more than likely it's going to take out a 1 month high, and I'll buy maybe I'm going to set a little bit lower so I can make sure I get a head start. Maybe I'll buy half a position. All right, OSCR is another one that I wrote down. There you have it. Now this is a insurance health, but there you have it. You have that nice little bottoming process, and now you have the 10 period moving average going above the 20 and acting as support like it did today. It came right down and bounced on it, and it's right above the 50 period moving average. This is, be careful with this one though. It's a new issue. It's only been trading for 3 months, but you know what? If it gets back above this 25 level, I want to know about it, because if I see it come in with volume, it's one I may want to take a chance on. A pot stock, Tilray. Oh, let me zoom in now. All right, showing some signs. Gosh, it's just amazing how these patterns will repeat itself. You know, there is, tried to bounce here too early, came down, put in another bottom, and now you got the 10 trying to cross the 20. This is one that I probably would have liked to seen a little bit earlier and at least bought half a position, but I'll still keep an eye on it. One that could be, you know, definitely bottoming there. All right. Hope I'm giving you guys some ideas. And Fossil was coming through the Dawn of the Dead, I believe, today around 14. Had a nice move, probably caught a lot of it. Not one I'd want to chase here. I'm just kind of showing you something. Yeah, I would definitely not chase this. I want to catch these early. Blue. For those biotech, this is making a potential nice bottoming process. You did have a big gap down here. Once again, I'm always leery about gap downs, you know, because it probably came off earnings, or this could come off a possible FDA ruling or something like that, but nice 3-month base and trying to go to basically a 2-month high there. So for those who don't mind playing biotechs, that may be one to watch. All right, so in a nutshell, guys, like I said, a lot of traders, no one will ever tell you to trade like this, but I'm telling you that I was in a funk like a lot of traders, over the last couple of months. Trading's been hard, but I've made a huge move the last 2 days just on this style of trading. Looking for these possible turnarounds in stocks and especially the EV sector, and so far it's working out nicely. So I just know a lot of people are, that if you're having trouble day trading, okay, this is a way that you can trade and not use a whole lot of capital because you're not trading a whole lot of size. Okay, I mean, think about it. You can get 3 to 5 point moves, from these stocks. So 200 or 300 shares, and you can do very well, on these things. So it's amazing if you slow things down. Okay, you look for, and I'm not saying invest and own it. I'm just saying slow things down and maybe look for invest for 3 to 5 days, and I'm telling you, you can make 20 to 30% real easy on a trade when you get it at the right price. Another good advantage to this style, it is small size. All right, so if you're trading small size and you're entering a half position at a time, because a lot of these aren't going to work because you're kind of, like I said, speculating on a trend reversal. So let me just put one up so we can see. You're kind of speculating on a trend reversal, so it will take time, but you're not using the same size. Okay, if you're looking to ride something for 20 or 30 cents and bang it out, go don't do this. Go try to find some momentum stocks. Okay, this is for slowing things down, trading small size, and getting these nice little potential 20 to 30 to 50%, in some cases maybe even 100. So I definitely wanted to share that with you. And with that said, let's take a look at, oh yeah, let me share this Dawn of the Dead with you as well. Let me see. Since I made the change. And remember, revenue growth fishing you can find in the Traders Vault. And I'll drop this in the chat panel here. There we go. Oh, why is that to Jamie? Oh shoot. Private. How do I change it?
Let's see here.
Let's see. Wait.
The little drop down in the bottom there should be on all entire audience, I think.
In the chat window?
Yeah, in the bottom, if you expand it, you should see a little drop down menu.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Dawn of the Dead. Let me see.
There you go.
Is it in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. All right, there it is, guys. And once again, the revenue growth fishing, you can find it in the Traders Vault. Look for the key, and revenue growth fishing will be in there, and that hasn't changed. All right, let's do this and pull up the price alerts, and let me show you what a couple of guys did here. Beautiful call from, excuse me, Stan G. And I noticed this. I'm just so disappointed I didn't take it. It was a beautiful setup, and I don't know what I was doing that day, but I thought it got away from me, and it still, moved. But he had it pegged in 10 TEN, and that was a 34% gain from the trigger. Huge. Good job, Stan. Aja had a good one in V-Ray. Take a look at this chart, and kind of what we were talking about. Kind of a bouncing, off of basically a 3-month low, and boy, what a nice call right there. I think he pegged it after hours, but even still, it came back to this price level and it bounced again. That one actually looks like it wants to go higher too. So good job, Aja, if you're there. And let's see, Paul B and Zim, and this one also looks ready to go again. There was your trigger, had a little pain there, but this one is actually setting up again for a possible move. Keep an eye on that one. I'm going to set a little alert there just in case, although I don't trade a lot of buying highs. It's not much. I will if it's something that is breaking out on huge volume off of earnings or something like that. Let me see what else we got here. Bill and RPay. Yeah, not bad right there. Yeah, a couple of good ones. Darwin and Pins. And that one, look at that. That's just kind of like the pattern we were talking about, bottoming process. And now you got your 10 coming across your 20 there. Dang, I may want to keep an eye on that one for a further move. Like to have seen that earlier, but anyway, I'll mark it up anyway. May want to take that. But okay, let me see. Andy, do you have a YouTube channel, and what is your Twitter account? Yeah, I'll drop it's Trade Ideas. I'll drop it in the Trade Ideas Quant, I believe. I'll drop it in the chat window there. And Steve and I, back when we had Today Trader, we used to do a lot of we had a big YouTube channel, and oh man, we had a lot of followers in there too, like 8,000 followers. We ended up selling that because we got into, anyway, mortgage loan notes, distressed assets. But anyway, we ended up, and then we went to work with Trade Ideas, and it was a big mistake. We should have canceled it. I think I could probably go buy it back because I don't think he's doing a whole lot with it. But yeah, as of right now, George, no, I don't have a personal YouTube channel, but that's my Twitter handle, just Trade Ideas Quant. And let's see, we got 10 minutes. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do some price alerts. What do you say, Jamie?
Sounds good.
All right, guys. So here's what we do. You guys give me a stock and a price, and I will assume it's a long unless you tell me it's a short. And what we'll do is and I like doing this because I get some good ideas from you guys and some good traders out there. So yeah, give me a stock and give me a price, and I will mark it down as a long unless you tell me it's a short. All right, FCX. And that is looking pretty good at 43.12. And that is George. No, it's Paul. Paul B. Yes, Paul had a good one last time. ARNC. And that is 35.90. Well, he's got them tight here. And that is Dave Fontaine. LMND. Interesting. Brian, yeah, 93. Okay. Get it above that 200-day moving average. That would be probably a wise move there. And that was from Brian Karcher. Okay, ACB. Oh, looking pretty strong there. And it's from Martin at 950. Waleed with SHYF. And at 41.20. All right. Okay, looks like Stan is dropping a. He must have a good. Can you copy from there, Jamie, from the questions panel like that?
Real quick.
I don't know. Can we? I didn't know we could copy from there. Let's see. Okay, QFIN from George Young, and that is at 31. Ooh, that's a nice, yeah, that's a possible nice looking breakout. All right, we got time for a few more. Got about 3 minutes, so if anybody has any price alerts, there we go. Neo, DDD at 31.25, looking for a continuation move. And Oxy gonna go into the energy sector. I like that, the way they've been looking at 26.55. And that
Andy, I'm
is,
unable to copy that that
okay,
bottom
yeah,
rank.
that is Stan G. Yeah, I don't think we can copy from that. Once you email that to us, Stan G, you can either put to attention Andy or Jamie. If you're trying to share a link, you may have done it accidentally. I don't know, but if you are trying to share a link with us, yeah, I'd like to see it. Apple short. All right, Betty Sue. Apple short. I love it. Get a short. You know what? It's looking weak, isn't it? 125. And we're going to call that a short. Betty Sue. I love that name. All right. Twitter from Brian. No, Brian, we only get one though. Sorry, buddy. If you want to replace that. Oh, that was a mistake. Okay, he has too many keyboards. All right, no problem, Stan. And Brian, I think you already have one. So yeah, we only get one. Nope. LM. You want LMND or Twitter? Okay, I got that one for you. So you are in there. All right, guys, going once, going twice. I'm going to copy these down. Why won't that pull that up? Oh, no wonder I got to scroll. There we go. Going twice and going 3 times. All right, we got about 10. That's good. I'm going to share these with you. Copy all, and I'm going to drop them into the chat window. There you guys. Good luck to everybody. We've had some strong ones. I see Neo already. That's okay. Got a trigger, but that's fine. I already copied them, so you're good. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope you learned something today, and I'll bring in Scotty. He'll walk us out. And
yeah, all right. Thank you. Yeah, so a couple items on the way out. Go ahead and grab that new ebook if you don't have it yet. It's the favorite strategy indicators of our director of software development, Dave Mabe, who also created Holly and the Brokerage Plus interface. There's a podcast. We've got a couple episodes out this year that are really worth listening to. So search for Trade Ideas Podcast wherever you listen to your pods. Add us as a subscription. And then you'd be ready to grab the newest episodes as soon as they come out. They hit your inbox. You can listen to them right away. We've got a new newsletter. So if you're not quite ready to get a full Trade Ideas subscription and you maybe think you don't have enough time to use it, grab the Strength Alerts newsletter. It's $17 a month. You get a newsletter every Sunday night. And it's got 5 new trade ideas delivered to your inbox. It's trade-ideas.com/strength. And subscribers have access to the same newsletter from within the Trade Ideas software. You can get it from your channel bar if you haven't noticed it yet. There's a discount code, Maydays. It's good for the rest of the month, so use it soon. Just use that one on checkout, saves 15% off your first month or year of an upgrade to premium or a new Trade Ideas subscription. You can find Jamie on Twitter at QuantBot, find our Steve Gomez at TISteveG, also at Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas Pro is the Facebook handle to like, and any questions, send it to info@tradeideas.com. It goes into our help desk. So you get a reminder tomorrow about how to find the recording of this session. We'll have that recording up in a couple of hours usually. And you can find it on the YouTube channel, but you will get an email tomorrow with a reminder about how to find it. So thanks everyone. Thanks Andy and Steve. Andy and Jamie. Have a good rest of your day and a good Memorial Day weekend.